Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Elizabeth and I'm going to be doing a reading for twin flames with regards to the eclipse energy and just going into retrograde season. I haven't done a twin flame reading in a while, so I wanted to tap into those energies and see what's happening inside of the collective. So I hope that you're all doing well. This is for divine masculine, divine feminine. We'll try to cover both energies and maybe even get into some bridging energies. So, all right. So just to go over some of the energies, now 1 second, let me get my notes. Okay. All right, so on May 26th, we have the kickoff to eclipse season. It's a lunar eclipse, a full moon lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. And it's at 5 degrees of Sagittarius, and it's also conjunct the south node of the moon. So that's a really big deal. This is bringing up a lot of karma, a lot of karmic lessons, removing of situations, removing of energy, releasing, a lot of releasing. Full moon, lunar eclipses usually signify endings, wrapping up of things, completion of things, sudden changes. It's very subconscious. It's a very subconscious energy. So it's things that have sort of remained hidden. So a lot of truths being revealed, massive aha moments, that kind of thing. Really looking at the shadow. And then, okay, so the day before, on the 25th, we have a grand water trine. And that grand water trine is happening between Neptune in Pisces, Mars in Cancer, and the moon in Scorpio. So it's the day before the moon moves into Sagittarius. Trines are an easier aspect. It's where things flow more freely. So we kind of get like a little burst of intuition, a burst of hope, good fortune, inspiration. Also, we have Jupiter in Pisces. So it's really heightening our intuition, expanding our compassion. And for some, like on the lower vibrational of Pisces energy, it's also where there can be some illusion or confusion, delusion. Pisces is 12th house, so it's endings. It's that our house of undoing. It's also mysticism and the occult. So a lot of stuff happening. On the 29th, we have Mercury going retrograde in Gemini. So we kick off retrograde season. Saturn went retrograde on the 23rd in Aquarius. So this can be the energy of loss of hope. It can be signify like a loss of hope. So there's just a lot happening. I don't mean to be so Debbie Downer, but these are some of the energies that we're moving through right now. So we're in Gemini season. Let's see what else is happening here. We have Mercury in Gemini, Venus is in Gemini as well. So there's like a lot of mental activity right now, a lot of thinking and communication even. People may be extra chatty, that kind of energy. In June, Venus moves into Cancer. So this is where in our relationships, we really want to feel safe and protected and nurtured. It can also be very emotional as well. The eclipse of the sun, which happens on the 10th of June, is happening in Gemini. And we also have the new moon in Gemini. So both of those things are really about new beginnings. Eclipse energy doesn't happen just like that. People move through energies in their own time and their own fashion and their own manner. So you may be like really feeling some of this energy, like something's going to happen between you and your twin. Like there's a shifting of energy with this Neptune in Pisces. It's been there for a while, a few years, I think. We've been able to like really get into our dream space. So you may be seeing like you're dreaming of your twin a lot more. Let's see. So the eclipse of the sun usually brings about new beginnings, like I said, and these things can sort of happen over, the next 30 days to 60 days to even 6 months. Okay. We also have Jupiter is going retrograde in Pisces. So that again is a test of our faith. So I'm feeling like a lot of you on the journey may be losing faith. That this is even a real thing, that you've just been fooling yourself the whole time. You've been in a delusional state. On the 22nd of June, Mercury will turn direct, so that's great. And on the 24th of June, there's a full moon in Capricorn. Okay, and on the 20th, the sun moves into Cancer. So also in June on the 25th, Neptune is going retrograde in Pisces. So retrograde season, eclipse season. During retrograde, we start reevaluating. We start, really looking back on things. So a lot of you may be receiving messages, whether it's from, your twin in the astral realms, in the upper realms, in dream time, or actually in real time. Some of you may be in communication already. So let's just call in the angels, the guides, the ancestors, and the galactics of the highest love and light to join us here for this reading. I hope that intro wasn't too confusing for you, Gemini season. So I am talking a little bit quickly, but I think that you get the message. So, okay, let's get into the reading. So I think we're going to pull just an overall energy right now for the twins, and I'm using the crystal ally cards. So we'll get some crystal energy. These have very powerful messages. So overall message for the twins, the twin flame collective for the current moment. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guides. Overall energies, please. Okay. All right, that one wants to come out, so we're going to take it. Ooh, we have Earth. Yes, getting grounded. And also this is where, it's the focus is really on like this 3D connection, that we want to bring it down to earth and not have it always be like about the spiritual, but what about the physical? So that's something that you really could be thinking about. And we see the flower of life here with howlite and reason. So it's a really beautiful energy. The flower of life is the symbol for, everything. It's the potentiality for everything. It's showing just the connection that the twins have, both in the spiritual realm and in the physical realm. So even if you are in separation from your twin, regardless of what that looks like for you, there's the 5D, the 7D, the 9D, sacred geometry being like the fabric. It like is the building blocks of the fabric of our reality. And here we see the earth. It's so green here. It's like this vast, giant mountain, but it's all green. It's not brown, it's not red, it's green. It's full of life. So there is, and then the flower of life. So this is the overall energy for the twins. And I'm seeing this again as the 3D and then the upper realms. It's really interesting. At the bottom of the deck was convergence with chiastolite, and we see the spider web there. And we also see a nod to like the Templar's cross, or just the cross in general. Chiastolite's a really interesting stone. It always forms that cross. All chiastolite has that. So it's speaking about all of the experiences that the twins have had, both together, both apart, the experiences that you've had with your twin in the 3D, the experiences that you've had with your twin in the upper realms, in a time where you actually were, before there was a separation, okay, before, and I don't mean like in this incarnation, I mean many, many lifetimes ago, before the twins were separated, like during the times of Atlantis, Lemuria, and even prior to that, off planet, on other planets, in other realms, in other dimensions, that all of those experiences, like they're in here, they're in this web. This is what's creating reality. This is what is creating the destiny. So the energy of the circle, obviously there's no beginning and there's no end. That's the snake eating its own tail, that sacred symbol of the Aurora Bora. So the Alpha and the Omega, that there's no beginning and no end to this. So it's speaking just to like the higher connection of the twin flame collective. And each of these sort of like little pieces of silk that the spider weaves, it's all the different experiences and how they're all woven together to create this larger piece of the puzzle, to create a wholeness. This is a wholeness here. This is a wholeness here. It's really beautiful. It's very, feeling very emotional from this energy. Like there's a lot of emotion with this. The energy of the two of you really and truly completing each other. And it isn't from a codependent place. It's, you know, that you're whole on your own. You know that you can live a life that is productive, where you're of service to humanity, because that's the bigger mission for the twins, is to be of service, is to remember who you are, is to remember your mission, and is to expand your consciousness. But when twin flame comes together, when there is union, because both twins have aligned themselves and ascended to a certain level, and then union happens, it is a catalyst for light and consciousness to spread through humanity. It's a part of the ascension. It's a part of the Great Awakening. So there's just so much to say about this. And the first card out is Earth. So the other message that I'm getting is that there is supposed to be union in the physical. And that's what Spirit is coming in to say, that, you know, that this is the plan. This is the goal. And speaking about the spiders and the spider webs, I do love spiders. But if we talk about the archons, some of the much darker, more nefarious forces that have been infiltrating the consciousness of humanity, infiltrating the ascension of humanity for thousands of years, it is like an AI. It's an inorganic darkness. And these forces, if you were to like put a physical appearance on them, they may appear spidery. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't like spiders. I happen to love spiders, just not in my bed. But where am I going with this? It's also a nod to that. And the convergence is where this is the energy of storm. You see here on the border, all of that lightning. It's the energy of storm. So it's about change, and that there's change happening now, and timelines are actually converging. And that's what the eclipses are about. It's sort of like where the divine comes in and is going to cause upheavals. All kinds of things could be happening in both of your lives that essentially could lead to a change to bring this back together here in the physical, so that this is sort of complete. Now, with howlite, this is a very calming stone. A lot of times when you see turquoise, it's fake turquoise, and it's just howlite that's dyed blue. So I don't know if you can see it here, but it has like these striations. It's black and white, so the feminine and the masculine, but it's mostly white, which is the masculine energy, with bits of black, which is the feminine energy, or the yin and the yang. It's very calming. So howlite could be a stone that you work with. I think it has a very rich magnesium content. So for those of you during these changes, now I'm not a doctor, so consult your physician before you do take any advice from me. I'm not giving medical advice, but magnesium could be helpful for you as a calming mineral, and to help you sleep if you're not sleeping well, especially during this eclipse time and retrograde season, and during the storm, when things are really going to be changing, timelines collapsing, a release of things. This really is a releasing of karma. And if you've ever seen like a spider web, like at night, let's just say, and then there's a storm that comes in, and the next morning the spider web sort of has like missing pieces to it. It's sort of that energy of the things that don't belong, even though everything has its part, but the things that are no longer needed, where they are sort of taken away, they're swept away, they're blown away. That's the energy of the eclipse and of the storm. And then the spiders rebuild is what they do. So I'm seeing an opportunity for both twins to sort of like reevaluate and rebuild and release. Retrograde, RE, all of the re words. Revisit, reconnect, reunify, all of that energy. So, all right, let's start off with some tarot, and I think we will pull from the Anima Mundi deck, and that is by the Creeping Moon. Amazing deck. And let's get some messages for the masculine. So I'll probably timestamp this just in case you want to just go straight into the energies of the masculine. so we're starting off the masculine reading at 15 minutes. All right, so let's get some messages for your divine masculine if you're a feminine watching this. And it's not gender specific, it's energy. You could be a masculine who is in a feminine role right now, and vice versa. This applies to same-sex partnership as well. Okay, and speaking of which, a very happy Pride Week to everyone who may be watching this, who is in that camp. Happy Pride Week. I actually bought this really cute rainbow pin last week. Okay, so energies for the masculine. So we see them really busy at work, the beaver. And this is the situation here, 8 of Pentacles. This is where your masculine has really been trying to master the 3D world, and they've been very hard at work, many of them. They're building wealth, and we see the 2 beavers here, and they're like sort of building that dam. So one of the messages that I'm getting from this is not wanting to feel their heart space. That's why I'm putting it right over my heart, because the beavers are so connected to water. And when you think of a beaver, they are blocking the water. They're building a dam. So that's part of the energy of the masculine, has been like numbing himself out. And what's crossing that is the devil. Yes, 100%. So in this deck, this is the only card where we see a human. So this entire deck is, you know, about animals, and we are an animal, right? But the only card where you see a human is the devil, and this is where they're naked. You know, it's the masculine, naked and bound, and there's 3 chains on him. There's 3 different parts where the chains are. You can't really see where they're attached. There's a lot of shame here. So again, this is the energy of it's crossing this 8 of Pentacles. So an addiction to work, an addiction to money, the physical things, and not wanting to be in the heart space because, you know, it brings up too much for him. These are also perhaps some of the codependent relationships. This is perhaps their karmic relationships. This is feeling like he's trapped. Pentacles energy is that earth energy, trapped in the day-to-day, the 3D. And there's a feeling of monotony here, of just doing the same thing over and over again, like every day is the same. And there is someone else there with him, who's like the partner in this. It's like, it's where they're kind of doing this together, living this life together. So for some of you, this is about your masculine in another relationship, in a karmic relationship, and the devil is crossing that. So let's see. The underlying energy is the Page of Pentacles, and this is sort of how he feels. Like this squirrel who has to save for a rainy day. It's like sort of like an underlying worry about lack. They could be living a very abundant life, but there's always this worry that there's not going to be enough, that they have to like put aside for the winter, for when there is lack, for a rainy day, like I was saying, and scurry away. Like squirrels are always scurrying away, you know, and the squirrel is like sitting on a tree stump. So that used to be a giant oak tree. So it's the energy of rebuilding. So a lot of your masculines, they may have had some losses in the past. And it is this energy of rebuilding. Yes, at the bottom of the deck, which when I picked up the deck, it stayed there, was the 5 of Pentacles to clarify this Page of Pentacles. And notice how it's all pentacles. Even the devil is earth energy. It's Capricorn energy. So that first card of earth came out, and everything in the tarot is related to earth, related to the 3D. So this is where that's that winter. That's where nothing's growing. That's where there isn't enough. These are fears around abandonment, fears around not being enough, self-worth, okay? So this is very much what the masculine is going through, okay? Let's see what else wants to come out. I want to see what comes out in the crown. So let's look at the crowning position. Let's look at past energy, and let's look at some of the outside influences. All right, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. So this is crowning. So this is in their mind, and also what's coming in for them. And here's the Tower. It's a lot of pressure, you know, it is a lot of pressure, and something needs to give. This is a releasing of pressure here with the Tower. And this is the energy of the convergence. Like I was saying, it's a storm, it's a volcano erupting, it's a releasing of pressure, it's a releasing. So this is the eclipse energy here of the release. And with that is the Seven of Wands. And this is where, yes, some of these people or situations are sort of breaking. There's an energy of things being broken, of things leaving. And this could be the masculine even doing it. You know, in some cases, he may be creating this Tower for himself just to relieve some of the pressure. This is also a card of valiance and nobility and courage. Where they are learning to stand their ground and fight the good fight, stand up for themselves. So where your masculine may feel bound with the Devil energy, they are, what's crowning them is this desire to break free of those chains. So this is the first card of fire here, you know, so this is where the spark comes in. This is where they're returning to spirit, really, with fire being, you know, so connected to spirit. So it's a really big energy for them. Like I said, that's what's crowning for them. And let's take a look at what their most recent past was, what they've been moving through. We already have an idea, but let's just get a message for the most recent past, last week, last month, even just this year, okay? We're at the end of May, which is so crazy. Okay, there we go. There we go. Ooh, yikes. We get the Queen of Swords with the Five of Swords. So this is... this is where your masculines are settling for less. They're still in old patterns. They're still connected to their own wounding. There's still healing that they need to do. This is that breaking free that needs to happen. We see an owl here. I feel like this could be the energy of the karmic partner, where it's very logical. It's a very logical energy. It's not an energy that's coming like from a heart space. It may appear that way to him because this is a pattern for him. It's Libra energy, so it could appear that it's coming from a good place. It's, like I said, it's just this energy of codependence. But it's also where this is wanting victory at any cost. And it's showing that there's a certain intelligence with them. There's a certain sense of, you know, really using the mind to attain the things that they want to attain in the 3D. But it really is the energy of victory at any cost. Like they have to win. And they're willing to kind of like put up with anything or do anything. But it's, again, it's not wanting to deal with things in the past. It's, on some level, I think that they want to cut through all of the lies and the illusion here. You see, like, the owl is out at night. You hear the owls at night. They're creatures of the night. So it's a nod to the shadow. And there you can see the stars in the sky. So there's a nod to healing with the star card and a connection, you know, to cosmic energy and a connection to the higher mind. But even with this sword, it's kind of going sideways. It's not down. It's not up. It's just sideways. So I think they have moments where they're trying to find their way out of this whole situation logically, but it's not working because perhaps that's what they've always done in the past, is try to bypass the heart. I keep going back to these two beavers here trying to dam up the water, like to stop the flow, to stop the heart from opening, to stop the emotions from coming up, like doing whatever has to be done to just satisfy something within themselves. Is the devil energy. Like I said, it could be substance abuse, shopping addiction, an addiction to money, to sex, whatever that is. This is sort of what they've always done, is bypass the heart, what their heart really, really desires. And so they're finding themselves, you know, in the same pattern, unable to kind of like heal this. But Spirit has another idea for them, because there's something that's going to have to be released. It's too much pressure, and they're really, really feeling the pressure right now. So let's get a card for outside influences. Okay, that's way too many. But I did see, I'm going to take this one because it was like the only one that I saw, is the energy of the Four of Coins. And this little raccoon who kind of, again, he'll do anything to get what he needs. You know, I love raccoons, so this is nothing against these animals. But, you know, they're little scavengers. They'll go through your garbage at night. They just have to do what they have to do to survive. And that's part of the outside influence, is their own survival, and feeling perhaps in their life where there's been so many times where there hasn't been enough. It's an energy of hoarding. So again, it's where there's a closing of the heart, more Pentacles energy, and another creature of the night. This is another, you know, guy that comes out at night. So it is the shadow. They're really in the shadow. Let's get one more for the outside influence. That one, the Knight of Pentacles. And here we have the Lone Wolf. They could be like dealing with someone who just keeps pushing them forward with their plans, with their goals to make money. It's again, like another animal of the night. It's so interesting. These are all night animals, except for squirrels. Squirrels do come out during the daytime, actually. But, you know, this, again, this is just the goals. This is the planning. This is the working. It's 6th house. So it's just the day-to-day activities. I feel that overall, it is pretty mundane. It's very mundane. There isn't a whole lot of spiritual energy here. Also with this wolf, this is also, you know, connected to the moon. And this is where, you know, the energy of howling at the moon, crying to the moon. It's, if you've ever heard like the wolf howl, it can be very haunting and filled with sorrow. Okay. So, and this could be the energy of someone else. The wolves there could be a lone wolf, but then they also travel in packs. And so this could be part of their pack. There could be people sort of crying to them, making them feel very responsible for them, afraid to leave these people. This is also the energy of someone else sort of holding on to them, someone else withholding from them. So it also is the energy of them perhaps not receiving in an equal way, really not receiving anything that's satisfying their soul. It's all pentacles. It's like, except for, you know, a couple of swords and a wand, it's all pentacles. It's all earth. It's all so 3D. So let's see, where are they in their heart space? Let's look at their heart space. Yeah. 7 of Swords. So it is an energy of death here. I mean, when you see this, it's a raven, a very, very large raven that's just been stabbed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. So that's the Six of Swords. And then the Seventh Sword is just sort of there, as if whoever did this missed or didn't even care enough to put the Seventh Sword in. Betrayal. So their heart space, there is some kind of betrayal. I want to clarify this because at the bottom of the deck is Judgment. So in many senses, this is them judging themselves, being afraid of judgment. So for a lot of you, you may not have a lot of communication, and it's because of this. You know, they don't want you to see where they're at, really. It's too painful. It's too difficult for them to imagine the feminine, like, really knowing what's going on with them and what they're, it's this whole day-to-day thing. It's like what their daily life looks like. So Judgment, in their heart space, there's definitely an energy of like life versus death, wanting to be free. This is also the Descent. So this would be the bald eagle or the hawk here. I think it's a hawk descending. So it's coming from spirit and descending to earth, that earth energy. And it's creating a catalyst for spiritual awakening. So in their heart space, there is this energy of, you know, wanting something deeper, wanting something more meaningful from their life. This is the mask, the Seven of Swords. It's the false mask. This is the false self. But in their heart, when they really do feel into it, there's a yearning for resurrection, for redemption, for reunification, all those re-words, retrograde words, and second chances, forgiveness, and to be on their soul's path. There's, you know, such a startling contrast there of what's happening in the heart space. So, okay, and let's, it's funny because I'm not seeing a whole lot of people. Definitely like the devil energy, you know, could be a karmic situation or karmic situations. But the only one that I'm seeing is the Knight of Pentacles. And it feels like the masculine with the lone wolf, you know, who's howling and crying at the moon. So let's get some outcome cards, like post-eclipse season, just the first two eclipses. Okay. Oh, there's a lot. So really nice. We see the Ace of Wands with the Knight of Cups. I do feel like there's big changes happening for them. Wow. Wow. Okay. Beautiful energy. So we have the Knight of Cups, and this is the Dolphin, and this is where, you know, there's joy, there's flow. This is the heart opening. Ace of Wands. This is new inspiration. This is like this beautiful little ace that wants to grow into something really spiritual and beautiful. So there is a spiritual energy that's with them. But that being said, with the aces, it's an opportunity. Like, they have to take it. So it's a yes or no. Are you going to take this? Are you going to take this? Yes or no? Here's the cup. I feel like this is what sort of releasing from this tower, you know, is this opportunity. Once, whatever, I think we're going to clarify that tower with the Seven of Wands. But once that happens, this is going to be the opportunity. And then we see the Star card with the Seven of Cups. So this is where the Cups energy are coming out, is in the outcome. This is where hope and healing are coming out. You know, this is also the energy of wishing upon a star, returning to the heart space, thinking about what the wishes are. Knight of Cups is all about his dreams. The Knight of Cups is all about wish fulfillment, a chasing after his truest heart's desire. He's very romantic and gets back into the heart space. And so this is an opportunity. It's an opportunity for healing. It's an opportunity, and the star comes after the tower. So first you have, wow. Okay, this is pretty amazing. First we get the Devil, and this goes in order. Okay, so this is number 15. Then we get the Tower, which frees you from the devil. So this could be ending of situations, ending of if they have an addiction, like just ending it, like something's really, really changing here. And then we get the healing and renewed hope. 15, 16, 17, boom, 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 right in a row. I don't think I've ever done a reading in all of the time I've been reading where these three have come out like this. Not like, okay, this one came out first and then this one came out. No, it was the devil and then the tower crowning. So crossing, crowning, and outcome. So if you're a masculine and you're watching this and you're like identifying with some of this because you're really going through it, I really commend you. And for those of you who are watching this for your masculine, there's hope, and there's hope for them. It's a return to like that judgment. It's about spirits descending upon them and giving them an opportunity. And now is definitely, it's a time. I'm not going to say it's the time or the only time, but it is a very monumental opportunity that they have. So what came out with the star, though, was the Seven of Cups. So this is where they are reevaluating their dreams and their wishes. So this is where we say, like, is it a dream worth pursuing? You know, and we see the deepest depths of the ocean here. These are the creatures that are in the deepest parts of the ocean that have that sort of luminescence or glow, whatever it is. Like, these are ancient creatures here, very, very ancient creatures that, you know, people who like go to the depths of the ocean or think they've gone to the depths of the ocean have, you know, seen these creatures and been like, oh my God. So it is very dark. They're still healing from a dark place because I feel like things are going to really be dismantling for them. This could be manifesting in their physical life, ending of relationships, just things really being taken away from them, or them leaving situations, finally standing up for themselves. But that being said, it's still a dark place and they're still going to be working through it. Okay. They're still going to be working through it. I'm not sure if this is a heron or what type of bird this is, but I used to live in Florida, and we had a lot of blue heron on the lake that I lived on. And I had collected a bunch of their feathers, so I was really looking into that animal as a totem. And one of the things that they really do is they learn to stand on their own 2 feet. They learn to be solo. And that's part of this 5 of Pentacles, is a fear of abandonment, a fear of being alone. They really and truly fear being alone. And that's why they're working through all of this karma, because true healing is going to happen when they are able to really stand on their own and fend for themselves and find their healing from within their own place, not from someone else. And that's why I was saying, like, this isn't you complete me because I can't complete myself. Both twins are able to complete themselves and then come together and create a third energy. And that's God. It's Mother, Father, God. It's, you know, it's bigger than, oh, you know, you complete me. I'm going to take a sip. Excuse me. I hope you're enjoying this. Okay. So, yeah, and it's also about patience, because this animal, this bird, if you've ever watched them, birds like this, hunting for their food, they have a great amount of patience. They will sit there and like hone in on their prey, and it's super slow, and it's super slow, and then boom, they strike and they get it. So also about patience, and that they have everything that they need to heal and to find hope on their own and complete themselves. And that once that happens, they're going to know which cup is theirs, which one belongs to them, which is theirs. So that's part of the outcome that I'm seeing. Let's clarify the Tower and the Seven of Wands. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Thank you to the guides. Please clarify this Tower. What is the crowning energy of the Tower with the Seven of Wands? Too many. Oops. They really want me to take this one. The Six of Wands. Okay. So this is what fell on the floor. They really wanted me to take this one, and this is the Six of Wands. Okay. So, you know, this is a card of pride and ego, you know, and it's in a lower vibration. So when it's paired with the Tower and the Seven of Wands, this is sort of like a releasing of their ego. So when we talk about the Seven of Swords and the false mask, and all of the things in the physical, the money, the status, I don't know, the tangible things like the cars or the jewelry or whatever it is, it's a releasing of this ego, of this Five of Swords, of needing to win at any cost, because this is like victory. This is where you're recognized. It's where you're in the spotlight. But with the Tower, it's sort of like where they've been hiding from really being seen for who they truly are, which, you know, is this. See those flowers? You know, a divine child of God, a divine masculine. So it is stripping away some of their ego. And then what fell on the floor, to clarify, was the High Priestess with the Ace of Cups. And we see the White Owl, and this is the energy of the White Witch. And this is the energy of the Divine Feminine. So here's where the feminine comes in. It's a releasing of the mask. It's a releasing of the ego. It's a releasing of having to prove something, where they can start feeling the energy of the feminine and inviting that in. So the White Owl, the White Witch, she works with the light. I remember there was a night where I was driving from Moreno Valley, California, up to Marysville, California. And I was driving at night, and I was just about to get to my destination. And it was so dark. It was like in the country in Marysville. And there was a huge creature that flew right. I thought it was going to hit my car. And at first I thought, was that an angel? Like, I really thought it was an angel, because it was so dark. It looked like this. Okay. It was a white owl. And so it's the feminine. And with the Ace of Cups, enough said. You know, the Tower, the Seven of Wands, him standing up for himself. And it might not be to other people. This just might be him breaking the chains from within himself, and with other situations, jobs, people, family, friends, whatever that looks like for your particular masculine situation. Letting go of this ego. It's so much pressure. Something's got to give. And this is what's able to come in. And this is in the crowning position. So this is from Spirit. And a lot of this, you know, they may be sort of, what's the word, like disconnected from source, in a sense where, you know, maybe they go to church, maybe they are religious, maybe they're doing that sort of 3D, and there's nothing wrong with it, but it doesn't really go beyond that. You know, again, it's just very mundane and very like very, very 3D, extremely 3D, and not the higher octaves of 3D. So this is what's crowning. And for some of you, maybe your masculines at some point accused you of being a witch, you know, because here you are like watching energy updates and tarot videos, and it's the energy of the White Witch. Like, there's no black magic here with the Divine Feminine. In fact, some of you may feel as though your masculine's karmic partner actually is the one who sort of delves into some black magic. We didn't even talk about this, but the Eight of Swords came out, and it's just sitting over the Seven of Swords. So we'll talk about that. But it's just an interesting sort of irony, that, you know, and it's not white or black, you guys. It's not that there's a negative connotation with black, but it's the energy of working with the light versus working magic in the shadow, because we want to do shadow work, but we don't want to do magic from a place of shadow, because that is self-serving. It's service to self, and it never leads anywhere good. So like I was saying, some of you may remember a time if your masculine called you a witch, accused you of sorcery in a negative way. And it actually turns out that that's what they've been dealing with after you. If you have, you know, gotten any downloads about their karmic partner, or, and that could be, again, it could be a best friend, it could be a family member, it could be a mother figure for them, or a father figure for them, or a brother or a sister, whatever that is, that those people actually are delving into the dark magic. So the last card that was there with Judgment and the Seven of Swords is the Eight of Swords. And again, this is where like they're, and I think this was, we had outside influence, and then the heart space. So there's a lot of anguish inside of the heart. There's even anxiety, and that's why they don't want to visit the deep places inside of their heart too often. It's a lot of shame and a lot of regret, and there's anxiety here, and it's where like you know, your heart carries an electromagnetic resonance. And so when your heart is opening, and I'm feeling it right now, like I'm feeling this energy of spirit just like wanting to descend into the heart space for them, their highest self. This is like the energy of their higher self, of their guides, you know, spirit guides and things like that, their angels, their guardian angel, like wanting to come in and just help them clear this away. So it's inside of the heart, it's a dark energy, and not because they have a dark heart. They don't at all. They have a beautiful heart. And this is really what, you know, what it really resembles and looks like and actually is, you know, in a real way. So that's the energy for the masculine. Let's get from the Quantum Oracle, and we may just keep this for the masculine. Maybe I'll just pull an advice for the feminine or something like that. Thank you, Spirit. Let's just get some cards and see what wants to come out. Yeah. So going back to the squirrel who has to save for a rainy day, and the Five of Pentacles, we have here the consciousness of lack. And so, you know, here's the masculine. And I'm hearing nothing is set in stone, is one of the messages that I'm hearing here. Nothing's set in stone, you know, with this. If you actually like look into this rock, if he were to turn around, he would see all of the abundance in there. There's books here. So I'm feeling like a lot of this is a program. It's that Five of Swords. These are things from their past, that it's patterns that they've learned, you know, throughout their life. It's this subconscious programming. Perhaps, you know, that if they connect with the feminine in a real way, and there's reunion and there's twin flame union, that somehow there won't be enough, because then they're on the spiritual path. So it's a fear, and it's a program, and it's a false program that they've learned, you know, from whatever that looks like. But there's, yeah, it's the consciousness of lack that really in some ways a driving force, and also their feelings of worth, and on some level feeling that they're not worthy. And that's a number 5 here. So this is about change. So, you know, the underlying energy of the Five of Pentacles is about change. The fives are very difficult, but they're catalysts for change. So again, going back to the first cards of the chiastolite and the convergence and the energy of storm and the eclipses and change and all of that. And at the bottom of the deck was transformation and another 5. You can't make this up. So yes, that there is, you know, change that wants to happen. Judgment is a card of transformation. So this energy here, and the Tower is another card of transformation. So there is transformation happening. The Convergence. I feel like this hawk here is part of that convergence. It's like plummeting down at warp speed. It's a guide that's coming in for your masculines. So some kind of divine intervention. These 2 5s, when you add these 5s up, you get the Wheel of Fortune. And I think I mentioned the total lunar eclipse on the 26th is conjunct the south node of the moon. And so it is about karma, and it is about past life, and it is about wrapping these things up and releasing these things. So there's an element with the Wheel of Fortune of karma and of allowing that wheel to turn, to stop resisting the change and stop holding on, this energy of holding on for dear life, and allow the change so that the wheel can turn and they can receive some blessings for a job well done and for being courageous. And that's part of that 7 of Wands, about why, you know, it's so important to have valor. Because you're rewarded for that. You know, you're going to be rewarded for following your heart, for getting into the heart space, for saying, you know what, not today. I'm not building this dam today. Like, I'm out. And this we could even think of as the divine masculine and the divine feminine. Perhaps here they've sort of like dismantled the dam so that there can be a flow. Because part of this eclipse energy is also dismantling things that don't belong there anymore. It's a dismantling so that healing can begin. Okay, and I want to get one card for them for the wisdom of the House of Night. And then I will try to come back this week because this is getting too long, and do a reading for the feminine. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you enjoy this, you can leave a comment. Please like this if you like it. You can always leave a comment too, or email me, elizabethlight1111@gmail.com, and tell me if you enjoy this. You know, because I will do more of these. It's just I don't tend to get a whole lot of views on these, so you know, I will be happy to do more of these. Okay. Messages for the masculine. So let's just get a couple from this deck. Maybe we'll just do one from this deck. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, angels. Oh, wow. This card came out in the last twin flame reading that I did, and I don't even think that I posted it. So here we have the raven that we see in the 7 of Swords. So this raven here with, like I was saying, 7 of Swords, there could be a lot of deceit around them. Other people wearing false masks, like some of their relationships, not all of them, but some of them are, you know, they're very superficial. Okay. And here's that raven inside of a cage. So this is where the masculine has been, just really feeling trapped. This is also the energy of magic. So even their own magic, their connection to spirit has been largely cut off, and the energy of love. So here's the 10, and here's what happens when these 5s come in, the 2 5s, and they actually stop resisting the change, is the energy of love. And I'm also seeing this 34 equals a 7. So that's why it connects into that 7 of Swords. This is the kind of love that they've been experiencing. It's very obsessive with the devil. It's a very obsessive kind of love. There's a lot of jealousy. There's a lot of possessiveness. There's a lot of using sexuality almost like as sexual magic, that kind of thing. And this is what they've really been trapped in, you know? So, you know, and you can see like her finger there, you know, and she's kind of holding this heart. She's holding this heart in both hands, and it's sort of reminding me of this rock where these partners are keeping them in a place of lack in a very subtle way. That's even the Five of Swords with the Queen of Swords. This is the type of energy that they're dealing with. It's very subtle. In some cases, it's not so subtle, but in some cases, it really is. There's a lot of conflict around it. And so it's very obsessive, jealous, possessive, to the point of, I feel like at some times it's like the masculine is exhausted. It's exhausting. That's also part of that Eight of Pentacles. It's just, it doesn't stop. There's no end to it. And a lot of your masculines may, you know, have struggled a lot with codependency, codependent relationships, and they do have some kind of an awareness around that. So, you know, that could be the bigger lesson in this, because I feel as though they do feel very tired. They feel very, very tired. Transformation is not an easy process. Ultimately, all of these situations are there as lessons for them, for their soul growth. This is perhaps the soul growth that the two of you really were unable to do together. You know, that's twin flame separation. So these are important lessons that the masculine is moving through. Let's get an advice for the feminine. I'm going to use the numerology deck here and get an advice for the feminine and just see, and then we'll get a priestess of light for you. So if you're still here, thank you for being here. An advice for the feminine. And remember, those crystal cards were about both of you. So feminines, there are things in your life that you're definitely wrapping up, karma that you're completing. You've definitely worked through a lot. Moderation. So this is your advice, feminines. This is temperance. And that's what I was just talking about. So number 14 is temperance. Okay. 13 is death and in the tarot. And then 14 is temperance. So this is where you've earned your wings. You've done a lot of inner work. Have patience at this time, just with whatever is going on in your life. You've really activated a lot of growth with all of that green. There's been a lot of growth for you, feminines. And the red is where you've really learned to build for yourself inside of the physical world, where you have maybe healed your lower chakras, stopped giving your power away to other people. You've learned healthier boundaries for yourself. So that was a lot of the lessons for the feminines, is about patience and moderation, but the inner work of temperance, where all of these lessons, all of these instances, all of the good, the bad, the pain, the loss, the triumphs, the failures, they all have a different part in this web. And it's what makes you whole. It's what makes you a complete being. It's really what you came here to experience in this physical plane. And so the same can be said about your masculine. So temperance emerges as an angel, and after the transformation of death, it's like you're just a kind of a step ahead of your masculine. They're inside of this death energy, really. And you're inside of the temperance. So it is also about being able to hold compassion for them if you can, you know, if you're in that place of being able to do so, because these are their lessons. And it is, if this is your true twin, you know, really and truly your true twin, then you're going to also honor where they're at. Even if it's, you know, painful, but it is also this energy of moving on. Actually, this is like root chakra and sacral chakra. So about being more creative in a growth period, having a lot of opportunities and growth. And at the bottom of that pull was love. So here's a nod to the lovers. Okay. So having like a higher perspective around union and around love. For some of you feminines, you really are craving communication. You know, you really would like the channels of communication to open up. You'd really rather not sit here and watch me do a reading. And maybe this is true and maybe it isn't, you know. You really would like this to be tangible. It is this desire to like validate the experience through the physical world, right? To really validate it through the physical world, because you know, you're so connected in the spiritual realms. And I don't know, maybe like you're having dreams of your masculine and they're like telling you to leave them alone or stop thinking about them. I don't know, you know, let me know your experience. And underneath love was relationship change. So that's a message, you know, that is definitely a message. There's change in the air. I don't know if this is for you or your masculines, but feminines, financial discipline wanted to come out. Okay, 48. So we get the sixes, we get the ones. So 11, 11, 11 with the ones. Okay, so twin flame energy, and then the fours. So definitely fours are with you. Those are angel numbers, 44 and 444. It's how you know your angels are near. And then the fours and the eights. So even leading up to Lionsgate, 8 is past life energy, that 8 of Pentacles. So, all right. And I think that'll do it. Yeah, I think that'll do it. So I really wish you well. I hope that this was helpful for some of you. I know that it was very eye-opening for me. I never know, you know, what's going to come out in these readings and how they're going to go. So I wish you just a wonderful month ahead. And if you would like to see more of these, definitely leave a comment, or please feel free to email me, Elizabeth, Elizabeth, light 1111 at gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram and message me there. It's Elizabeth Light Tarot. So I wish you well. Take really, really good care. Namaste.